Okay, so Phase 3, Part 2, let's go. So, continuing Phase 3 now, a week after Captain America Civil War, Black Panther, Prince T'Challa becomes King T'Challa of Wakanda and is the Black Panther. Then he has to go through this challenge to become the king. He discovers he has a cousin who wants revenge, Killmonger, and he takes the throne for a while till Prince King T'Challa comes back and reclaims his throne. And Killmonger wanted to reveal the technology of Wakanda because their technology is thousands of years advanced due to Wakanda being built on what is it now? Vibranium, the same technology for Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer, and yeah, he then goes on this mission to stop this evil arms dealer as well, played by Andy Serkis, who cameoed in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Anyhows, the whole thing, he becomes king again, and in the mid-credit scene, he's about to reveal his technology to the world in Wakanda, and then in a post-credit scene, we see Bucky, who is currently being rehabilitated in Wakanda. Anyway, next we go to Avengers Infinity War, where Thanos has killed a lot of his Guardians, and Hulk faces him and gets his ass kicked, and Yamdel dies as well. Thor then gets blasted down into space after Loki is killed and by Thanos, who took the Power Stone off screen and gets the Space Stone. Anyway, yeah, Thanos goes on the quest of collecting all of the Infinity Stones throughout the movie, whilst the Avengers prepare to fight him. Hulk won't come out and fight. Doctor Strange, Stark, Spider-Man, and half the Guardians of the Galaxy are on Titan waiting for Thanos, and Thanos comes, takes the Time Stone. Meanwhile, on Earth, they have this massive battle in Wakanda with the other Avengers. Thor, Rocket, and Groot go out to make Thor a new Axe Hammer, the Stormbreaker. They go down to Wakanda and join the battle. Thanos then gets all the stones, and Thor gets the opportunity to kill him, going for his chest. Now, there were a few opportunities they had early on in the movie, like if Star-Lord kept it together for a few seconds longer so Spider-Man could get the gauntlet on Thanos after he killed Gamora to get the Soul Stone. Anyway, Thanos wins, wipes out half the universe with a snap after he tells Thor he should have gone for the head when he gets him in the chest, and half the universe turns to dust. And then we're left to wait for a year to find out what happens. Anyway, next one, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Scott Lang's been living under house arrest. He's having weird dreams and visions of Janet Van Dyne, which is Hope Van Dyne's mother and Hank Pym's wife. They discover that she's still alive in the quantum realm, and they discover that if they can use the quantum technology, they could go and get her, which they do, but there's the ghost who wants the technology to try and undo what's been done to her after a whole experiment, well, not an experiment, a lab accident when she was a kid, then used her as a weapon. In this one, there isn't really a major threat, but we get some comedy in there and some good action from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Anyway, Scott then goes into the quantum realm. Hope Van Dyne becomes the Wasp as well. He goes in there to, get some quantum energy before he gets pulled out. The Pyms Van Dynes have been turned to dust. We then have to wait what happens to him next. Okay, so next we got Captain Marvel. Set in the 90s, Carol Danvers, she discovers that she was once a fighter pilot, and then she had this whole thing in the 90s where she was, in 1989, where she got exposed to a lot of the Space Stone, the Tesseract, and gets these powers, becomes Veers, and is taken by this guy played by Jude Law, and believes that the Skrulls are the villains and the Kree are the allies. They discover that the Kree are the enemy and the Skrulls are just wanting peace and a place to live. Anyway, after finding that out, she helps the Skrulls, she fights the bad guys, saves the day, and then goes out to help the Skrulls find a new home. She gives Nick Fury a beeper so that he can call her for emergencies only, which we do see in the post-credit scene of Avengers Infinity War. Anyway, we jump to the mid-credit scene where it's the present day. The remaining Avengers are trying to work out what this beeper means, and then we find Carol Danvers. Next, we go to Avengers Infinity War, where Stark and Nebula are coming back to Earth, and then they're saved by Carol Danvers. The remaining Avengers then plan to find Thanos, which they do, and they go and stop him, but then they realize that they're too late. He's destroyed the stones, so they can't bring anyone back. And then 5 years go by. Ant-Man gets out of the quantum realm. He tells them that there's a possibility that they could use the quantum realm to travel through time. They all build time suits to go on a time heist, get all the Infinity Stones. Professor Hulk, yes, now Bruce Banner is Professor Hulk because he has the best of both worlds now, brains and bronzes put together. Okay, so anyhow, they succeed in the time heist, only for Thanos from the past, 2014, who finds future Nebula and gets her involved and caught up in everything. And then he gets his whole army into the future, well, their future, 2022, or is it, no, 2023. Anyway, everyone that got snapped away comes back. They have a massive battle for Earth. Stark puts on the gauntlet, sacrifices himself, takes the gauntlet on the Infinity Stones, sacrifices himself to destroy Thanos. He dies, has a great hero funeral, and then Captain America volunteers to take the stones back. He then takes the long route back and is an old man because he wanted to stay with Peggy. Gives the shield to Sam Wilson. Sam says he'll do his best, leaving him and Bucky to get their own Disney Plus series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We'll also see the return of Vision when he dies in Infinity War. And he died, but he comes back in WandaVision, which we'll see eventually. Anyways, then we go to Spider-Man Far From Home. It's a couple of months after the snap. Well, after everyone came back from the snap, which they called the blip. People that got snapped away stay the same age, whilst the rest of the world aged 5 years. Parker, he goes on a field trip with his friends around Europe to Venice, where he meets these elementals, and Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, is helping them stop it, and he stops the elementals, and he gets Parker to turn over Stark's technology, even dead, I'm the hero, and realizes that he is a villain. Anyway, they want to pull off this big hoax so that Mysterio can get credit and become like the ultimate hero for the world after he feels screwed over and wronged by Stark. Spider-Man fights him doing the noble thing and makes himself a new suit and stops Beck. Then he returns home, gets together with MJ. His friend Ned has a girlfriend, MJ's friend, and then they split at the end of the trip. In a mid-credits scene, Parker drops MJ off, and then he discovers that on the Daily Bugle he gets his identity revealed from Quentin Beck after his followers hack the news cameras, because Beck had a load of followers as well to create his illusions, etc. Anyway, in post-credit scene, we find out that Nick Fury and Maria Hill are the Skrulls, and Nick Fury's taking a break in space, getting something ready called Sword in Space. And then that is the end of Phase 3 of the MCU, and next we got Phase 4 with Black Widow, which was originally meant to come out in May, but due to the coronavirus, the film release is on hold, and we don't know when it will be released, but hopefully it's a mild delay, but we don't know. Anyway, that has been my recap on Phase 3 Part 2. You can watch Part 1, linked in the cards below or at the end of this video. I have been the Bat Nerd. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. All my social media links are down below in the description. So yes, I have been the Bat Nerd, and until next time, Bat Nerd out.